Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible?
Good afternoon. So yes, you are audible.
Saurabh,
Yes, Chaudhary.
so you are available for the presentation?
Yes, I am available. Start.
Okay, okay. So I would like to just to make one important means information I would like to share with all the participant. Saurabh, can you give me this
Please.
2 or 3 minute time?
Yes, sir. Why not, sir? Please.
Now you are the means in charge of this sessions, so that's why I just taken
No.
the
I have
permission
not
for.
started yet.
Okay, so today the session of the Mr. Chaturvedi is going to ended at this 4 p.m. So Saurabh, just to try to wind up at 3:55. 4 बजे के
Okay.
2-4 मिनट पहले कर देना आप up to maximum up to 4 up to 4
3:45 पर कर दूंगा.
by the
3:45.
by the 4 p.m. Okay.
ठीक ठीक.
And after the 4 p.m., the valedictory function of this FDP course is that will be started at 4 p.m. after the completion of Mr. Saurabh Chaturvedi presentations, and then after we will follow this test. After the completion of this validity functions, especially our speech of our honorable director Dr. L.K. Awasthi. Okay. I
Okay,
am
sir.
all participants.
Yes, sir, you're audible, sir.
And
Yes,
the
sir,
link of the question, the exam will be on the platform of this Google Forms. Google Forms. And I will, after the completion of this validity function, I will display the link of this examination. And also I will send all the link through your email also. And I will also provide some buffer time for the opening and link, achieving and accessing the link. Then I will announce the time for the start of the examination and time for the stop of the examination.
Okay, sir.
Okay, everybody is noted? Clear? Have
Okay, sir.
Yes,
Noted,
sir.
sir.
Okay, sir.
Noted. An exam will be totally on the objective mode. Objective mode, we have to only just to select the one options. And there will be the 30 number of questions, and each question that will carry this 1 marks.
Okay, sir.
So we have
Okay, sir.
we have to just to qualify 60% of marks, 18 marks minimum for getting the certificate.
Okay, sir.
Okay, any questions regarding examinations?
So, what is the time period of the examination?
Just after the completion of after the finishing of this validity function, especially our speech of our director.
Hey, sir, what
Okay,
is the
sir.
duration?
Sir,
And
exam is
duration of
held on today or
exam that will be the
tomorrow?
30 minutes. 30 minutes.
The
Okay.
exam is held on today or
Okay, sir.
tomorrow?
Huh?
Today,
The
today.
exam is all held on today or tomorrow?
Today.
Okay, sir.
Again, you note this presentation of Chaturvedi is going to end at this 4 p.m. Then
Okay,
I will start this validity function for 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay.
And then after the completion of validity function, I will just to display and send all the link for the examinations, Google Form examinations.
Okay, sir.
And then I will given a 5 to 10 minutes for your accessing and everything, preparation of everything after
Okay,
the
sir.
validity functions. Then I will announce the time for starting of the examination. Then I will announce the timing for the completion of examinations.
Okay,
अगर
sir.
हमने 4:10 में दिया है 4:15 में दिया है accordingly I will just to given the 30-minute times.
Okay, sir.
Okay, any question? Any more questions?
No, sir.
So just
Sir,
wait
Thank you
also
so much.
review
For
all
the
the
30
previous
for
slides
30
and all the matter, all the contents of this this subject. Okay, thank you, and again welcome Mr. Chaturvedi, Saurav Chaturvedi, for the presentation on apparel cutting tools and cutting room planning. So
Okay, sir.
welcome, Mr. Chaturvedi.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Okay, friends. So my PPT is visible. So we'll
No,
continue.
sir.
Is it
Okay,
visible? Yes.
Now visible.
Yes. So I'll just go through it because I just said you recap it. So any questions? I'll just go through a slide. In case on any slide you have a question, we'll go through it. As the time is a little short, so we'll just go through it. Cut order planning, I started with what is economic cut quantities, make the best use of fabric, labor, machinery, available space. That was the content. Then I explained what is the AND loss, beyond the marker length, we have to leave some allowance, that is called end loss. Width variations is there in the fabric. We all know that there will be, in case we order something on particular width, it will not come. It will come in some different width. So we will align from one side, and one side there will be difference. So the fabric lay, which is of the smallest width, that is our cuttable width. Rest fabric is wastage. So the more the variation, more is the wastage. Then we discussed about remnants. What are the remnants? So in case if it is an integer multiplication of the marker length or lay length, ply length, there will be no remnants. Otherwise, there will be remnants in the short pieces. Then we discussed this question about whether the marker length is a 3 meter, 5 meter, 7 meter. We realized that the higher the marker length, lesser is the end loss. So we figure out that the difference is in this question is just 7 meters or 9 meters, but actual difference when we cut huge quantity, it can be huge. And fabric cost, we know that it starts from 150 rupees per meter to can go to any extent. And then we have a huge fabric loss. Even if you just try to in percentage, in case you just take an example of any factory, how much fabric they are using and what is the fabric consumption, fabric cost monthly, and we convert that into the 10% in case we save it, the money will, some of we will just jump out of the seat and how much money we can save by applying little mind in this section. Then I gave you the first question about this maximum lay height, maximum lay length, how much is there? So 200, total 260 pieces. We can need a minimum of 2 plies. So we just give minimum of 2 plies. Based on the ratio planning, we made the 2 plans and the marker. This one marker and second marker. Similarly, we have taken one more question in which the order quantity was 1300 pieces. Maximum in one ply, we can cut 375 pieces to 4 lays. We cut it. We have done 2 markers and we cut it in this way. Next, I have given you the question on the this thing, the ratio wise, how we can cut it. Again, in the ratio we have done it. Then I have in front of you, I just draw this chart that how we have done it. We have taken in ratio the 2S, 2XL, 1M, 2L and 1XL. This is how we have cut the lay plan, and this is how we final cutting, and this is the calculation. So any questions as of now from any of the member? Okay, so we'll continue with this. So this is how we have done the marker length. I hope I'm audible. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So this is how we calculated the marker length. We say the saving in the marker length and allowance ply length. According to how many plies we have done in lay length, we multiply it and we can calculate the material cost. Then one question we have also done is about the light blue and dark blue. We have taken light blue and dark blue, the ratio of this in this area. And again, I have given you the option of light blue, dark blue in this size 38, 40, 42 and 44. We have divided the size, these quantities. And again, we have calculated the lay length. Once you have understood the concept, it's like once I know the formula, area of circle is equal to pi r square. Once I know the logic, give me any quantity, I will collect the ply length. Just I need to understand the concept. So I've tried to explain the concept. We can go on and on. We can do any number of exercise, but once your concept is clear, you will be able to do it. In this also marker length, we have taken it this way, and allowance 8 meter, and then light blue, dark blue, we have done it. The question can be a little longer also. For example, I have done it 1513 meter. This is dark blue is 61314 plus 1600, somewhere around 7700 meters of dark blue. Then I can give you the exercise that if all the rolls are of between 200 meter to 250 meters, what is the lay plan and how we will, what are the remnant losses in all the rolls? That exercise we also we can do it. Now one more question. I am not asking you to solve it. I have reduced 2 questions. Then let's, for example, I'll just solve it. I'll not give you because that I know most of you are have a exam Even if we are faculty members and the exam creates some kind of panic. So I will try to leave you by 3:45 or before that also, so that you have time. So I'll not ask you to solve this question. I'll just solve in front of you. Now this last thing, because right now we are doing it at about what is the best cut plan. Now this also we need to calculate. For example, something is doing a we in our factories we do the out process job or sourcing job. So someone is doing cutting. So what is the total labor cost of my cutting in case someone is doing contract? So how we can calculate that cost, that we need to understand. So we have these quantities, that these are the quantities which need to be cut. Single market length. Then we have fabric saving with in percentage. Then we have in this question, what is extra is the spreading time per ply in minutes. So what is the spreading time per ply? In case we are displaying one garment, it is 0.075 per ply per minute. So to spread one ply, this much time is taken. Then marker preparation time is in hours, it is given at the bottom. So based on that, I need to calculate what is the total man hour which will be done in this order. And based on what is the labor cost, I will calculate what is the cost in cutting the spreading, what is the cost of spreading, what is the cost of marker making, what is the total labor cost, and what is the total fabric cost. And that's make the whole question for cutting. Once we do this question, so I have to calculate what is the spreading time and spreading labor cost, what is my marker preparation time and marker labor cost, total labor cost, and then fabric cost. So this question I am going at. Fabric cost is 4 meter. Cutting time per garment mark is 15 minutes. Maximum cutting height is 100 plies. Maximum number of garments per marker is 4. Labor cost is $2 per hour and allowance is higher, 4 centimeter per ply. We have to follow whatever the instruction given. So based on this, what I'm in this question, I've tried. Yes, yes. Ramchandran ji, your voice was not clear.
Sir, can I ask one question?
Yes.
Sir, can we do the same kind of lay planning and cut order planning for circular knitted fabric as well?
It is not depending on woven or knitted fabric. It is we have to cut it. The lay planning is not depending on whether we are cutting a circular knit fabric or we are cutting a woven fabric. The same way we have to do the lay planning. It is not depending on that. In this, only the thing is that you are using in circular knit fabric, you are using a close marker. So which is in respect to that. So that will not make a difference.
Thank you.
Okay. So in this case, I'll try to compare with reference to size 44, the economic of cutting, shallow lay using multi-garment marker, deeper lay using single garment marker. So we will do the try to analyze the same thing in case we use a bigger marker. In case we use 44 in 25 plies. In case we quote the deeper lay using 44 style in 75 plies. So material cost here is 732 in case we just go do calculation, and material cost here is $702. So it varies. So which in the first example, we have taken the consideration that we need to have a longer length of ply. Here also we have to longer length of ply. Secondly, we need to consider labor cost. Now, based in this calculation, we will do the marker making time also, how much it is required. Time for spreading in case it is 0.75 minutes for one ply. In case we are doing 75 plies, it becomes to 56.25 minutes. Time for cutting is 15 minutes for one size. So 15 into 1, 15 minutes. So total time requirement is this much. In case we have the labor cost, what is our per day labor? We can calculate the labor cost. So this is the way of calculating the total cost of fabric in case we want to calculate it. And this style, the economic cut plan for this quantity is this. Again, I'm using 2 markers and I can cut the whole quantity. So this is for the cut order planning. Some of you would have felt little in case it's in your mind. It's in your in case it is in your mind that this numerical part is a little difficult, then it becomes difficult. Otherwise, once we do the calculation, we apply this little logic, it's always easy. Okay, so now I will start the topic which is for in this class about the cutting room and cutting tool equipment. So it's a easy topic, so you will not have too much difficulty understanding this topic. Can we start?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the PPT is visible, I guess.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes.
cutting, we will just go to the different types of, we will just go with different types of cutting equipments which are used and what are their end uses. So some of you are from factories, so it's a cakewalk for you. Some of you have not visited the factory, so it will be in depth. It's some insight in that. So these are the hand shears. First of all, the hand shears, which we strictly avoid in the factories. But yes, in case someone is making one garments or sampling cutting, so we can use it. Otherwise, on production floor, we don't use it because we can cut at most 1 or 2 ply at a time from these shears. So these are called hand shears, used on sampling, or in case nearby tailor, he uses it. But we cannot cut very intricate shape or cut small shapes. That's not possible here. Straight knife. Now this straight knife is the machine which is most often used in the garment industry. It is a straight knife. As the picture shows, it's a handle. It has a sharpening place. It's a cutting blade guard, which goes up and down movement. In all garment factories, even if they have CNC machine, they will have a straight knife machine. So this is the most often used machine as far as garment industry is concerned for cutting. Now, this elements, we have some base plate at the bottom, electric motor, vertical blade with edge characteristics. There are different edges for different edge characteristics of blade for different types of fabric. A handle for cutter to direct the blade, sharpening device. So all these things are there in a straight knife machine. You can see from these pictures how they are cutting from straight knife. In the bottom picture, the right hand side picture, you can see the person is wearing hand gloves also, because and they are called PPE equipments. As far as now, the PPE's word is very famous after COVID. Earlier it was not famous, but yes, for this PPE kits are available. Otherwise, the operator can anytime become eklavya, and it's because the blade moves very fast. So this is straight knife, as you can see in the pictures, or from this course is running from last I guess 4 days, and you have seen a lot of pictures for straight knife. So we just keep the one hand so that lay is not moving, and then we drive the straight knife between the lays. There are straight knife, 2 kinds of power are required to operate. Motor drive drives the reciprocate. There is a one motor drive which reciprocates the blade. The blade moves very fast, and it cuts the fabric. The other way is the operator power to drive the knife through the lay. So operator need to drive the knife. So he has to move on those edges. So for that we have some properties of lay, the table, how it can move smoothly, so that operator doesn't require too much of his strength to move the straight knife. Now the motor need is determined by the height of the lay, as it depends on what is the height we can cut, and we don't define it by number of plies. Some say number of plies, but number of plies depend on the thickness of the fabric. So for georgette it can be more number of plies, for denim it can be less number of plies, and different blade for that. But yes, the height is what we can decide. Okay, from this straight knife we can cut these kind of from straight knife we can from this knife we can cut this much height of the plies. Normally available blades vary from 10 centimeter to 30 centimeters. Normally available stroke vary from 2.5 to 4.5 centimeter, the stroke at which it reciprocates to cut the fabrics. We have polyester fabrics, man-made fabrics, in which there is a problem of fusing. In case you have gone through the session from Kothari sir, he was talking about thermoplastic fabrics. So because they produce a lot of heat, so they can get attached to each generation. To avoid that, we have wavy edges so that the heat generation is less. So as I told, straight knife is very versatile, portable, cheaper, and easy to maintain. We will find everything. As I told you, it required operator power to move the thing. In this picture, you can see there is a overhead suspension. So in this overhead suspension, what is that? It is called servo knife. So straight knife is supported from top. So operator doesn't require to move this. He doesn't require too much of his energy. So he can just guide it, the straight knife. It will not move automatically. He can just see the patterns and he can just drive the knife through the lathe, and that is how it will cut the straight knife. There's one more example of straight knife. Now, before going to the round knife, let's take bend knife. Now, straight knife is very versatile. It's used, but the problem with the straight knife is that in case you need to cut a curve shape, let's for example, I want to use a shape like for example, I like to cut something like this kind of shape, which is the straight knife machine will not able to cut this kind of shape because it's difficult for a straight knife for operator to move that clarity of curve shape or small shape, because you cannot handle small shape. Let's for example small shape of cuff, even the straight lines on cuff or shapes of the cuff, which is a little rounded corner or collar thing, we cannot cut on the straight knife. So what we do, we first cut those patterns from straight knife, then they move it to bend knife where the blade is stationary. In straight knife, the blade was moving, the knife was moving. In the bend knife, the blade is stationary, and we move the fabric, the cut parts beyond it. Let's see the example in this. Let's for example in this picture it is clear. The bend knife, it is stationary. The person is cutting the small parts, so he will just move the small parts and they will cut on the edges. So to cut the small edges, we cannot cut from straight knife. So what we do, first we cut from straight knife, we leave the allowances outside it, the shapes which need to be cut from bend knife, we leave some edges outside this, and then it will cut on the bend knife machine. So it is used, the bend knife machine, as the picture suggests, it is used to cut small parts or intricate shape, not the big shapes, for the small parts and intricate shapes. So this is bend knife. I'll read the theory. The bend knife comprises of series of 3 or 3 pulleys powered by, yes. Someone is saying something. Please mute yourself. I'm confused. Please mute yourself. Okay, so this is the function of bend knife. A bend knife comprises of series of 3 or more pulleys. Bend knife passes through slot in the cutting table in a fixed position, and section of lathe to be cut is moved away. Workplace should be arranged so that operator either pushes or pulls the section of the lathe toward the knife. In this, no energy is required, and in this bend knife machine, the surface of the table is very smooth and it has perforations, and from perforations there, once you start it, it can blow the air. So to move the plies, we don't require too much pressure. It's like to move something. Let's, for example, I'm drawing something on the on that thing. Let's, for example, once we move, trying to move something, once we're trying to move something, a lay, let's, for example, in this kind of lay, which is a lay which is this time, in case we try to move it. So there is a friction between the lay and the table. So operator has to move it to overcome the frictions. So what happens is this, in this, there are perforations in from at the bottom, and the perforations in the bottom. So it just flow, it pumps the air from the bottom. There are perforation in the table, and from these perforation the air comes. So the lay is little, the friction between the lay and the fabric is very less. So it avoids, and the operator can move the lay easily. So that is the concept of how they do it to avoid the more pressure to be exerted. So again, in case the concept of force is equal to the mass into acceleration and all these things, so we reduce the mass because we applied a air from that. So these are bend knife. So two machines which will be available in all the cutting rooms, in all the fabric industries, the straight knife and bend knife. 90% of job can be performed by using these two machines. One is a straight knife and one is the bend knife. In case we use these two machines, most of things will be get sorted out. One is the next is the round knife. The elements of the round knife, as the picture suggests, this is the round knife. It will cut it. So round knife, as the picture says, it will cut. It is a circular bit. It will cut. It will cut on the circumference. Now, the round knife, it is diameter vary from 6 centimeter to 20 centimeters. Now, round knives are not suitable for cutting the straight line. Let's, for example, because you have to visualize that when we are cutting something, edges will not cut. Okay. Let's, for example, that is the shape you are trying to cut with the round knife. So the round knife is a round knife. Straight knife, at this point, all the plies, the straight knife will cut at the same point. Let's, for example, but round knife, it is because it's circle, so it will cut diagonally because it's a round knife. So it cannot cut any surface which is a curve. It will always cut a straight line. So round knife, it cannot use to cut any shape, because it will cut diagonal. Like for example, your tire of a vehicle, it will just go angle, so it will cut diagonally. So we cannot use this round knife to cut a curve shape. So why it is used? Now, while spreading, if you remember, once we spread the lay, at the end of each ply, we need to cut the ply. To cut the ply, either hand triers are used, we can cut by hands, or more precisely, round knives are used. So round knives, the end use of round knife is to cut the straight line, that too in the that area. So this is the function of round knife. So each blade has its own end use. So we cannot negate why this blade is used, which is the best blade. It has own use. So round knife, again, it has been used, but it will be used for cutting the only the ply, straight ply at the end of spreading. So it is used in the spreading. Bend knife we have covered, the straight knife, bend knife. Now the fourth is the machine is the computer control cutting machine. Now everyone is talking about the computer control machine, how CNC cutting is done. From the automatic spreader, the machine is shifted to CNC cutting. In this days, in bend knife, we see that it gives a suction. It blows up air. In CNC machine, there is a suction. So it covers the whole ply with a polybag, then it sucks it, so there is no air entrapped. And based on the marker, which has been can be viewed through pen drive, or it can be uploaded in the system, the different knives start cutting, and it will cut the entire all the lays. So this is called CNC cutting. This method provides the most accurate possible cutting at high speed, and to keep the large system fully occupied, they are used frequently in central cutting facility that supply number of separate swing factories. Now, because in our terms it is called white elephant, because of its huge cost. So maybe for a small factory it's not usable because it cannot the number of cuttings which can it not suffice. But for big factories like Shahi or Madura or any other factories, so what they do, they have CNC cutting in one factory. From this they centralize cutting and they cut it that center, and they provide the cutted parts in different factories. So for example, I have 10 factories, so I will not do the cutting in all factories. I have CNC cutting, and this cutting will do it for all the things, because cutting can create a lot of problems. So instead of doing it cutting all the places, factories have realized that let's have all the fabric saving, because it's a cost which I have explained again and again. So we can save this thing. So this is CNC cutting. Information is stored in the computer which drives the cutting knife. Computer cutting system is stable with cutting surface consists of nylon bristles. Carriage supporting the cutting head has two synchronized servo motor which drive it the track on the edge of the table. The maximum height usually is 7.5 centimeter when compressed. That is, need to understand that lay height is 7.5 centimeter when compressed. So after suction, it is the maximum height it can cut. The lay is moved to the cutting zone using air flotation, and therefore the conveyor system takes over. Again, it may be same as band knife. It has air flotation when it is required to move the whole lay. A CNC use the information stored in the system for cutting marker is not required, and only the information required for bundling needs to be on the top of the lay. On top of the lay, whatever the bundle information, in case it is through RFID, so it's need to be stored. Otherwise, we just have to, the marker need to be in the for operator. The machine doesn't need any kind of manual markers or the printed markers. As of now, all the cuttings, whatever we have discussed is the easy. Now let's come to the die cutting part. As the name suggests, it's a die cutting. Now, what is the die cutting? Now, the die cutting is a cutting, as the name suggests, you will prepare a die, and from die you will cut those garments. Let's, for example, someone is getting a huge order of 1 lakh pieces of single side of collar. So to cut again, then a spread ply. Instead of this, I will make a die and I will cut it. So in case it is a repeat order, a huge order, then die cuttings are required, because every time you have to make a die for different shapes. So in case someone is making appliques or someone is doing the same shape, something embroidery of same shape, for that die has been done. Now what is die cutting? Involve pressing the rigid blade through the fabric. The die, called a clicker in the shoe industry, is knife in the shape of pattern periphery, included notches. Neeraj sir must have given you the concept of notch marks in pattern making. So that die, in case there is a notch marks, the notch marks are also given in the die cutting. Freestanding die generally comes into two categories. They can be made of strip steel, manufactured by bending the strip to the shape required for welding. They cannot be sharpened and must be replaced. So there are different kind of die cutting which can be sharpened, which cannot be sharpened. So which can be resharpened. They provide a high standard of accuracy, but because of the cost of die, they are only appropriate for larger quantities. So most, in my experience, I have seen die cutting twice, 2 times only. Generally, in garment industry, they don't prefer die cutting. Instead of die, they go for laser cutting or plasma cutting, but not the die cutting. But yes, sometimes I was for Nike applique, someone was doing it, so they had ready-made die for their applique. So for that, we can use the die cutting. So again, as the name suggests, एक खाचा साचा ready होगा for die, which will cut in that exact shape. A shape which is not possible from straight knife or band knife, that will cut in the die cutting. Die presses are of two types: impact and hydraulic. So which is not right now. Now in this die cutting, because when the we cannot put two dies very close to each other, because fabric is getting wasted, because it when it goes to the depth of the lay, those knife can get attached to each other. So we need to leave a little gap between the fabrics, because although it will go to the depth of the lay, but we need to leave a gap, a distance of at least 2 centimeter or 3 centimeter, a small gap of 2 to 3 mm between two dies, so that once it goes, it's a curve, it's a V-shape blade. So after cutting the first ply, when it goes till, in case we are cutting 50 plies, it need to go to the depth of that point. Now laser cutting. As it is shown in the image, the laser cutting, in case we need to cut these kind of shapes, we cannot cut it by straight knife, we cannot cut it by bend knife, we cannot cut this from round knife, we cannot develop every time a new die for this. To overcome this problem, we use laser cutting. So this is in all the women's wear, all the kids wear, all football jerseys, we see these kind of appliques being stitched. To make them, we need to cut it by laser cutting. Now what does the laser does? A laser produces beam of light that can be focused into very small spot, producing a very light energy density and a rapid localized increase in the temperature. A laser beam does not become blunt and need renewing, but it does suffer from limited depth of focus. Now, as all the knives, we were digging a straight knife, band knife, round knife, or die cutting, we are talking about the sharpening. But the laser cutting is there is no problem. It will always, because it's intensity of the laser, high density lights which is localized, by that it cut. But it has a problem. It cannot cut more than 3 to 4 plies. Can anyone try to give me answer why we cannot cut more than 3 to 4 plies from laser cutting? Yes, Sudhir? Yes. Why? Yes, anyone? Why we cannot cut more than 3 to 4 plies in laser cutting?
I think, sir, it cannot penetrate the layer. That's why.
Any other answer?
Actually, maybe the paper, the fabric may absorb the light, and
No. These are not the correct answers.
goes down.
No.
Even the accuracy of the cutting is not will not be accurate if we put a more layer.
Correct. The accuracy, it's a problem. Let's, for example, I'm trying to put a stack of plies here. Okay. Let's assume this is a huge ply. The numbers are from 1 to 100 plies are there. This is the topmost is the ply number 1. This niche one 25th number of ply, 75th number of ply, 100. Now, because what laser is doing, laser is producing the high energy of light at one portion. Let's, for example, on this point. So it will focus a high intensity of light at this portion. So this, in case we are focusing light, so this ply is cutting at the right point. In case you can see this ply, only this ply is cutting. The ply which are above them, they are not cutting at the right point. And the ply below, they will not cut properly. So I have to focus them at the last ply. So all the above plies, in case it's a huge difference, they will not be cut at the same point, and that's a problem. Laser cutting. So someone said the accuracy will not be there. So once we increase the depth of ply, we cannot cut it. What we have done in the straight knife, that we can spread 100 plies and we can compress it and cut it. Even if after compressing, in case some of you have seen laser cutting, that's why they in books they say we can cut 3 to 4 plies on laser cutting, but actually they do cut only one ply. They only cut one ply because that is accuracy is required. Just you assume you are buying this kind of garment in which these flowers are being made, and some flower are little rough edge. You will never buy it. The problem is that they have tried to cut 3-4 plies at the same time to increase productivity, but that is not the thing. So laser cutting, which will come with great accuracy, no sharpening device, but the production is little less, and that's why the laser cutting, when we do the bulk production, the cost is high, and that's why in all the garments, when these kind of appliques are there, you see the cost automatically shoots little bit. Is this point clear to everyone? Why we cannot cut more than 2-3 plies?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this will be applicable to all the cuttings technology which will come after this. The limit of the depth of ply and the best result achieved by cutting single ply. So best result is achieved only by cutting a single ply. Laser cutting. There is also risk with thermoplastic fibers that edges may fuse together and get charred, as the what we say. So in case we are using thermoplastic, we need to see the temperature at which the 2-3 plies can get fused together. Single ply cutting is faster when compared to straight knife. Even you can cut the garment parts. In case we have an intricate garment part, we are trying to produce a blazer for a haute couture, then you need to go for one ply. You can cut the laser cutting, but obviously only one ply, and it is costly. Laser are not common for cutting garments, but can be used cutting labels, appliques and fabric appliques in conjunction with embroidery. So everyone must have seen some kind of patch on their work, and on which top of this there is an embroidery kind of thing which is available. So for that, we generally, in case you see the garment, you can straight away figure out. We do give assignment to students ki analyze this garment, which part will be cutted from what kind of machine. If it is a collar, whether it's a band knife, is this thing with from straight knife, where the round knife will be used, where the razor will be used. So all these things, once we do practically, it's easy to understand also. So laser cutting. Next is the plasma cutting. Plasma cutting was originally developed to satisfy demand for high quality cutting on the stainless steel and aluminum, but it can also be used to cut textile materials. The concept is saying instead of laser, we are using plasma. Cutting is achieved by means of high velocity jet of high temperature ionized gas. Faster cutting for single plies, but cost is very high and quality problem same as laser cutting. Again, we can cut one ply. So this is also used. Now we need to understand these are not generally used. Generally, knives which are used are the straight knife, band knife, and laser. And CNC cutting. These are the, in case we know these factories, 90% of apparel industry we are able to cover. But like for example, once we go beyond that area of car manufacturing and the seat they manufacture and the seat they cut, in those areas they are doing cutting. Like for example, once we are cutting, everyone has seen the fabric of a car seat. So that is not able to cut from straight knife. So for that, they are using plasma cutting or laser cutting. So the textile industry is growing. It's increasing its broadness. So and these machines are used in those industries also. Water jet cutting, as the name suggests, a high velocity of water will come. It will cut again. We cannot only hydrophobic fibers can be cut. Hydrophilic will observe the water. We cannot cut it. We need to make sure the water is being extracted properly. So this is in India. I don't know when anyone is using. In theory, we do use water jet cutting, but I have not seen practically. As the theory says, a very high velocity, small diameter stream of water is created by applying high pressure water to a nozzle. As the jet penetrates successive plies in the spread, the momentum decreases and the cutting ability is reduced. Again, as the jet penetrates between the plies, the higher the depth, I'll not able to cut it properly. So again, restricted to the number of plies. And the last line says, jet spread out and cut is wider and rougher at the bottom of the spread. Jet of water is normally caught and drawn away. There is danger of wet edges, water spotting and inconsistent cutting quality. The water used must be filtered and deionized. Water jet cutting is most effective with harder sheet material, including leather and plastics. So we can use water jet here. I'll just skip one thing. Ultrasonic, two more cuttings are required, which we'll go through. So ultrasonic, more recently developed at cutting system that use an ultrasonic driven knife blade. Vibration frequency into 20 kgr range produces 1 upon 20 mm movement in the blade and is small enough to remove the need of Bristol base to the cutting table. So these are again produce high vibration, which is not too much used. Now, these are the important as far as garment industry is concerned, notchers. Now, everyone understand, everyone has gone through the pattern making class and everyone understand why we required notch marks. So notch marks, everyone has said that the notch marks are given. Let's, for example, I have applied a notch mark on a sleeve surface. Just assume it's a pattern shape, and we have applied. Okay, this is notch mark. This kind of notch marks we have to give onto our this kind of notch marks we have to apply. So, and why it is important, because to apply notchers we use. Everyone is clear about notch marks. What is a notch mark?
Excuse, sir.
Yes.
Notch marks. Notch marks are done in the pattern pieces for the alignment of garment pieces.
Correct. So notch marks, we do it. For example, we want to have two parts stitched at the same point to matching it. So notch marks are there, but once we are cutting through straight knife, band knife, CNC cutter it's possible, but the notch marks are not being given. So there are notchers which give specific notch marks at the location. So many garments part require that notches are cut into the edges of them to enamel alignment during sewing with other garments. Both straight and V notches are available. An alternative machine, the hot notches, incorporate a heating element in order that a blade may slightly scorch the fibers adjacent to notch in order to prevent it fraying and disappearing. So what is happening in this thing, the last point, when we give a notch, sometimes what has happened that the fraying started, and from that point the fraying will start, and we can have a lot of fraying on the edges. So that is to avoid that, it will just scorch the edges and it will prevent it from fraying. So these are the notch marks which we can use to make the notch marks. We make the notches. Drills and thread maker. Now, the notch marks are given. The notch marks are given at the edges. Now, let's, for example, I want to mark at the center. Let's, for example, I want to mark in the center of this pocket placement in the front planar, which is 2 centimeters from this place and 3 centimeters from this place. I want to make the mark on this so that.
So your PPT is not visible, sir.
Is it visible now?
it is visible. Now it is not visible.
Is it visible?
Yes, sir. Right now it's visible.
Visible, sir.
Drills and thread marks. The notch marks are to make a mark which is at the edge of the pattern, so that while stitching we can align it. But all the markings are not required at the edge. Some markings are required at the center of the pattern. Let's, for example, all the garments what we wear, where you want to make a mark for the pocket placement. So someone need to mark where the pocket will be placed. In case some embroidery needs to be done at the at back side or sleeve, someone need to mark it where this embroidery will be done. So these are the marks which are on the pattern center of the. So nothing is done for the cutting. We have seen a lot of problem in which for the marking they use different kind of things, and it is still a problem. They do it manually as of now for maximum accuracy, but they have tried different things. And these are called drill and thread makers, where reference marks are needed away from the edge of a garment, such as for the position of pockets, darts also, and similar feature. A hole is often drilled through all the plies of the fabric in the lay. So hole is drilled from all the plies in the lace. On many fabric, the drill is used cold and the hole remains visible until the sewing operators comes to use it. So that hole in itself is sufficient for operator to use it as a mark. But on loose weave fabrics where the hole may close, a hot drill is used which slightly scorch or fuse the edges of the hole. So either we use a cold drill or we use a hot drill depending on the fabric. So that mark is visible for the operator. But sometimes it creates confusion. Sometimes on some plies it is visible, some plies it is not visible, and operator can confuse. So to overcome this, they do the thread maker. A hypodermic or dye-spot drill may also be used, which leaves a small deposit of paint on each ply of the color. So it just leave a small deposit of paint. With multicolor or loose woven fabrics, or if it is important that no mark remains on the fabric, a thread marker is used. So what we do it, instead of, for example, the color is not desirable and that mark is visible, so we don't need that mark. So what we do it, we take a thread and we pass that thread from entire ply, and then it is being cut between all the plies, so that thread which is being that thread which is being left at that point can be used as our guide to start making the pocket or start making the whatever the embroidery required for this thing. So I guess these are all the machines which are basically used in the garment industry and cut order planning. So as I told you, I will finish it early because it's not for me it's a little cakewalk because these are the easiest thing. I would like to share some videos, but videos there will be lag time of all those machines, because what I've thought of that straight knife, band knife, I have all the videos, but when I share the video in online mode, it will have a lag time. It's not fruitful. So with this, I am not sharing it. So I guess these are from my side. So I have tried to cover marker planning. I gave you a little idea about cut order planning and these machines. I guess you have a test around at 4 o'clock. So you can take this thing and you can come for your exam. Any questions and whatever I have covered, in case I have gone a little fast, you can ask me right now.
Sir, could you share the links of the video?
I can share the link of the videos that I will share with Chaudhary ji, that I'll share the link.
Sir, also share today morning's PPT and this PPT, sir.
Yes, PPTs will be shared after the end of the day.
We have already received the PPTs of first 3 days.
Yes, yes.
So please share this also. And sir, one small question. Can you
Yes.
just give some idea about the cost of these laser, plasma, water jet and ultrasonic cutting machines? Just for a reference.
They are high cost machine. They starting from the approximate vary from buyer to buyer. Starting from a small machine from 50 lakhs and goes in crores. So these are the little cost of the machine.
Oh, okay, sir. Just for a reference idea.
Yes, yes, but we cannot generalize it. It
No,
vary from.
it cannot be. I understand, sir, but just a range, some range.
Yes, yes. Because I don't know how many of you were able to solve cut order plan, anything for marker planning and all, because that part most of people find a little difficult to understand. Okay, I hope you were able to understand what I was trying to explain.